Yo, rumor is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder is set to meet with Dazn to discuss a possible multi-fight deal. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Wow. Some interesting news. Shout out to Mike Coppinger. You guys see on the screen. He's a reporter. He works with Fox Sports, FS1, PBC, Ring TV. And this is what it's suggesting. Sources. Deontay Wilder in talks with Dazn. Will meet with John Skipper next week. Lou DiBella orchestrated a face-to-face between Deontay Wilder and Skipper. After Wilder's phone call with Skipper, Al Heyman and Shelly Finkel were notified. Believed that all 5 parties will meet next week. It goes on to say, Lou DiBella knew, given the relationship between Eddie Hearns and the heavyweight title holder, that no deal could be completed that way. New multi-fight offer expected to be presented by Dazn in person next week. DiBella declined comment. Wow. So he's basically saying that given the relationship with Eddie Hearns, Wilder doesn't necessarily trust Eddie Hearns for obvious reasons. He was in talks to, fight against Anthony Joshua, and then it got stalled out. No date, no venue. Things were said like, give us 50 mil, I'll take the fight tomorrow. And then they offered up 50 mil, and then the fight wasn't taken tomorrow. Things were said like, oh, they're taking too long with the contract, so now we need more time, and we can't fight in September at Wembley, so we got to push it back to Wales and Cardiff and fight later in the year. And then they end up fighting not Wilder, but Alexander Povetkin the same month, September, that Eddie Hearns is on record saying was no longer feasible. So there's no surprise to me that Deontay Wilder would be jaded with that and wouldn't want to work with Eddie Hearns directly. Now, Skipper, he used to work for ESPN, and he's the one that facilitated the deal with Golden Boy directly, and Oscar De La Hoya, Eric Gomez, to bring Canelo to Dazn. Now, in case you guys don't know, Golovkin, and I told you guys this for quite some time on the channel, but Golovkin was officially announced for Dazn. So Triple G's going over to Dazn. And now Wilder is being, offered something, it's looking like. So he has to obviously meet up in person, see what they can offer. And, it's going to be interesting. We're in interesting times. This could be good news for the simple fact that Anthony Joshua is over there, So that's great news for that, because that's the biggest fight still in heavyweight boxing. Obviously, people want to see Wilder Fury, but the implications for Joshua, plus stylistically, Wilder's a knockout artist, Joshua's a knockout artist. Joshua knocked out everyone except for, Joseph Parker, who was crafty, real cagey. And Wilder's knocked out everyone except for Tyson Fury, basically. I mean, you can count Bermane Stiverne if you really want to, but Wilder rematched Bermane Stiverne, and he did him bad. So, that kind of made up for going 12 rounds the first time. So really, Tyson Fury's the only guy most people considered surviving, and you see what he had to go through. He had to do some Undertaker, Papa Shango shit and come back to life in order to survive that 12th round. So we know Wilder's power is real. Joshua has a lot of power, is explosive, good boxer, things like that. So if Wilder does go to Dazn, this could draw us closer. And, it's all I told you guys. The heavyweight division particularly But in boxing, everybody is getting in where they fit in. You know, they're offering all this money, and, you know, people are going, money talks, bullshit walks, basically. And that's all that needs to be said. You know, people are trying to get that bag. They see Canelo getting that bag, and they're like thinking, man, okay, I make this much, but I'm worth this. I'm exciting too. I speak English. You know, and the reason I say English is because these companies, a lot of them are American companies, and most of these fights, these mega fights that we're talking about, are in America. Most of them. You know what I'm saying? So speaking a common language for like specials and behind the scenes and stuff like that. But, you know, I don't care what you speak. I'm just clarifying that for the fans. But, you know, everybody's trying to get in where they fit in. Dillian White's going to ESPN. Tyson Fury took a bag, you know, and completely did a U-turn from the Wilder Fury 2 negotiations that everyone thought was completed. So, you know, it created that ripple in the pond. But the good thing is for fans, you have all these companies. I told you what's happening. ESPN and Dazn and Showtime and Fox and everybody's trying to make power plays because HBO shares, they gracefully bowed out of the sport of boxing. So everybody's trying to pick up in that market because HBO was a major shareholder in the world of boxing. So when they said, we done, you know, Canelo had to find a home, Jacobs had to find a home, Triple G just found a home officially today, right? So that's what's happening. You're having all these people who are trying to get that profitability in the boxing world. And boxing's hot. You see movies like Creed and, you know, Drake and all these people. I was running through the 6 with my woe. You know how that go. You know, Chef Curry with the pot, boy. You know, you see Drake training boxing, the Kardashians. You know, just boxing is a hotbed right now. And there's money in it, and people see that. They see Canelo getting the richest sports contract. They see these big fights, Wilder, Fury, you know, how many people and stars showed up, and it's getting big for us. So the good thing is for fans. You know, potential bad thing is if these Cold Wars get in the way of fights we want to see. But if Wilder does align himself with Dazn, this could be great because it could draw us closer to Anthony Joshua and Wilder, which is the mainstay fight that people have been wanting to see. You know, I don't know what this does for Showtime though, you know, but it's good for the fans if Joshua Wilder happens somewhere or another. But, you know, a lot of people are going to credit Eddie Hearns. The whole reason that Wilder's team is meeting with Skipper is because they, like Golden Boy, don't want to go through Eddie Hearns, period. So if Joshua Wilder does happen, it'll just be that, you know, Eddie Hearns is working with it, but the deal won't be facilitated by him. You know, this is interesting, very interesting stuff, people. And, you know, everyone's trying to get in where they fit in. Everybody's trying to, you know, look out for their best interests. And they're saying that a fight, because of ESPN did offer, Top Rank did offer Wilder some money. And they're saying a fight with Dominic Brazil on Showtime would have to be pay-per-view because Wilder just got offered $12.5 million for a tune-up or something from ESPN. So now Showtime is going to have to try to appease Wilder. He knows what, you know, his market value. He's coming off a pay-per-view and stuff like that. So interesting times, very interesting times. Now, the other thing that I've suggested yesterday on the live stream and even before that is Tyson Fury could end up being the one that gets starved out. You know, he really could here because if Wilder does align himself with Dazn, then nobody's going to really care about this rematch because the main fight that everybody wanted to see from the jump was Joshua AJ versus Wilder. It's mod. So it's going to put this back on the back burner. Joshua has actual legit, you know, you see him posed up with all his belts. He has actual legit straps and hardware. And Wilder has the other missing link, which is the WBC green strap, coveted, respected belt in boxing. And Tyson Fury's running around like, I'm the Gypsy King and lineal champ and stuff like that. So, you know, that's going to be the fight everyone wants to see on the precipice. You know, not Tyson Fury. So Tyson Fury got this major deal with ESPN, and if Wilder warned him yesterday on social media, to this day, but if Wilder does go to DAZN, that's another way to say a big FU to Tyson Fury. That's a huge way, because that puts him in line and closer in the line to getting Joshua or Joshua Miller, whoever wins that fight, obviously, but whoever has all them belts, and he'll be getting paid. Then realistically, who is Tyson Fury gonna fight on ESPN? Dillian White. That's about the only thing, but that's not even good, because some people thought Tyson Fury got knocked out by Wilder, and Dillian White actually got knocked out by Tyson Fury. And granted, Dillian White has improved or climbed back up the ladder somewhat, but Tyson Fury versus Dillian White is like probably the biggest fight, in-house fight, that Top Rank and ESPN could make, and it still doesn't hold a candle to Wilder versus Fury. So, this is going to be real interesting. Everybody's playing chess, not checkers, and some people are counting Al Heyman out and like Showtime and stuff. You can't do that, because Deontay Wilder is still advised by Al Heyman, so he has the power to green light this and give the recommendation or advice to Wilder to do the best thing for his career. Wilder and Heyman wants the best for his fighter, so he might tell him to go to DAZN, just like he did with Jacobs. See, that's what I'm saying. People keep saying this is more proof, despite what people say. This is more proof that Al Heyman is not the real cancer like they try to call him, because he's actually allowing his people to go and make money elsewhere. Most people don't do that. So Jesse Vargas, I believe, is still advised with Al Heyman. Brandon Rios, I don't know, but they're over with DAZN. More importantly, Daniel Jacobs is in the biggest fight of his career with Canelo on Cinco de Mayo weekend, and he's advised by Al Heyman, and Al Heyman let him go to DAZN. Al Heyman's gonna meet up and have Deontay Wilder, see what DAZN can offer. But people keep saying that Heyman is Heyman. He's the one that is holding back the fights. When have we seen, like, for example, Bob Arum says that Al Heyman's a ghost, not a real person, and he's holding back everything, and Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence can't happen because of him and things like that. But when have we ever seen this from Top Rank? Even Golden Boy, I've seen them a little bit. They let Joseph Jojo Diaz go over a fight on Showtime, right? For a mandatory position. But I don't really count mandatories, because you kind of have to, because if that's the case, Top Rank let Alexander Vodstik go fight Adonis on Showtime. So I don't really count mandatories, but fights that don't necessarily need to happen, Al Heyman lets his guys. He was advising Amir Khan at the time. He let him go fight on HBO versus Canelo. When he was advising Jacobs before Eddie Hearns, he let Jacobs go fight Triple G on HBO. We don't really see Top Rank sending Terrence Crawford to a rival network. Go fight on DAZN. Terrence Crawford, go fight on this PBC, Fox, or Showtime card. So I never understood it when people were saying all this, like, Al Heyman. Al Heyman is allowing his fighters to get that bag, even if that means someone else is offering the money and they're going to front the money, and that's less for him to front. If it gives Wilder the opportunity to fight Joshua, then we're going to look into it. So very interesting stuff, people. This is real interesting. I can't wait to see how this unfolds, but this could get real ugly for Tyson Fury particularly, and ESPN. And see, that's also part of the chess. That's part of the chess. If Showtime can't pay Wilder the type of purses that DAZN is willing to pay him, you do a couple fight deal with DAZN, namely the Joshua fight and maybe, something else, right? And then see what happens. But ESPN, it's gonna be interesting, because Tyson Fury is gonna be stranded on ESPN. If Wilder goes over to DAZN, he's gonna be stranded over there with all beltless wonders. Guys who are the fans aren't going to really embrace, especially the American audience. You know, Dillian White's probably the most exciting, both inside and outside the ring, ready-made name that ESPN has. You know, Rivas looks cool but he was losing the fight with Jennings, and then he knocked him out in the last. But he's not really a household name. You know, Joseph Parker works with Duco events, 2 losses. I mean, I don't know. Kubrat Pulev, Tyson Fury. You know, there's going to be a lot of star power on DAZN if Wilder goes over there. That's Golovkin, Canelo, AJ, and Wilder. You know, they trying to do some takeover shit. So, you know, it's going to be interesting. And like I said, a lot of people, back to what I was saying from the beginning, most people didn't have a problem with DAZN. You know, it's new. They're trying to offer something different without pay-per-view. You know, we'll see. But they needed major players and major fight dates and stuff. But if they keep getting this big 3 and big 4 and stuff like that, then, you know, that'll be able to fill up their calendar a lot more. But a lot of people had the biggest problem with Eddie Hearn's approach to his takeover of America, you know, and how he rubbed the people the wrong way and kind of what he was saying. But interesting times. Now, this is no guarantee that Wilder actually does it. DAZN could offer him what they offer him. He could go back to Showtime, and Showtime, you know, might say, hey, nah, we put in work with Deontay Wilder. We'll honor that, you know, or we'll give you the same or greater. So I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out. This is very interesting. That's what I do know. This is interesting. But I'm happy for Deontay Wilder because he's sought after. And see, this is another spit in the face. You know, Eddie Hearn saying like, oh, Deontay Wilder, you're nothing without the Gypsy King, you big dosser. But if Wilder goes over to DAZN, then they're paying him. You know, because he's at the point where he understands the business. He's at the point where he knows his fighting style. He's comfortable with that. He has sponsors like Everlast. And he's at the point where, you know, everything's clicking for him and he's desired. So he's not going to just go over there for short money. We know that. So, you know, we'll see how this plays out. But this is a very interesting, intriguing time in the heavyweight division. We'll just leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. We working, people. I promise you that. New media, digital mom, boxing ego. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.